All right. Can everyone hear me clearly now? I was actually talking, but I didn't even know that people are not even hearing me. So, okay. So I was like, today was actually the second day of the boot camp. Yeah, the first day we talked about a couple of things. If you missed the first day, then you obviously missed a whole lot. We talked about the mindset when you need to actually have when it comes to the trading. We gave little bit of testimonies about how the journey has actually been for us so far, right? What it actually took us to really get here and what we've actually been able to accomplish within what do you call it? Within just a couple of time, right? And then we also talked about, we actually told people how long they should actually give themselves with this opportunity to actually get to that level and even more. Right. So if you missed the first day, you obviously missed a whole lot. Right. So I'm actually going to want to say, I'm actually going to employ everybody on this call. Right. Just try as much as possible. Right. Do not miss any of the days of the boot camp. Right. Do not miss any of these because the activities and every single thing we have actually strategically arranged everything to make sure that anybody just joining this boot camp, right, no matter how new you actually are, no matter how, even if you're only a newbie, you just go start today. Follow every single thing before the 5 days. You should actually understand a whole lot of things about trading. You should be able to actually market the charts. You should be able to actually put your entries. You should be able to actually do a whole lot, on yourself, right? On your own radar when it comes to trading and all of it. So, having said all this, I'm actually going to share my screen very, very soon. And today's one is more like we're going to be talking about forex. Yeah. Before you actually start trading Bootcamp, you need to actually understand what forex is. You need to actually understand what candlesticks actually are, why that is actually showing red, why that is actually showing green, why it's going up like that, why it's coming down like that, and every single thing. You need to actually understand the major players in the forex markets, what makes the market behave like this, what makes actually behave like that, and every single thing like that. So if you actually understand HFA, you need to understand the fundamentals of forex. If you actually understand the fundamentals of forex, you need to actually understand why it's actually important to do certain things. Certain things like checking your fundamental news, certain things like actually looking at the whole market, actually, checking and what do you call it for normal news and normal events. And there are a lot of things that actually affect the market we don't really know about, right? There are lots of things when it comes to forex, when it comes to crypto. There are lots and lots of things that actually affect the market, right? So today you get to actually know about every single thing that there is, and also for those actually new, you're going to actually get to understand how to actually really use, the brokers. That's actually the what do you call it, the pocket options, top down from the beginning to the ending. Yeah, you understand. There are a lot of things actually about that broker that most people don't understand. They don't actually understand every single thing on this call. So having said all this, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to be going straight to the education, right? I really said, yeah, all right. So I guess everyone can actually see my screen. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah, so what is actually forex? Yeah, most of us actually, we post things online. We say we are trading forex, we are doing this, we are doing that. Now, if someone was actually to ask you, what is forex? Like, what is that forex you're actually trading? What is actually forex? 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 What does it actually really mean? Sorry, I'm just sorry about that. Hope I'm still. What forex is now? Forex is just basically the exchange of pairs, like currency pairs. Do you understand? Like euro, USD, and all of that. Right now, it is the biggest and most liquid financial market. When it comes to that in a bit, yeah, but it's just basically the exchange of currency pairs. Okay. Now, the whole market, the way everything actually is right now in the world, right? Things are constantly changing. Things are constantly moving. Right? Nothing is actually the same. Okay, a currency today, the value of a currency today is not going to be the value of the currency the next day. Okay, so every single thing in this world is constantly changing. Okay, so forex is just basically you taking advantage of the difference in the value of currencies and making profits of that. Now, forex actually the biggest and most liquid financial market. Is the oldest financial market in the world, in the whole world, right? The richest man in history was a forex trader. That was King Solomon, the richest man in history, according to the Bible. That shows you really how big Forex actually is. Do you understand? Right? Now, over the years, everything really got very advanced, right? During the old time and everything, when we're all yeah, so like I was actually saying, right? In the days of our fathers, then forex was actually so cool to actually trade forex. You can't just go and open your phone and do this and do that. Like if you really want to trade forex, if you want to actually travel, you need to actually do it the traditional way. But over the years, everything has actually advanced to the extent that we can actually do these things from just our mobile devices. Now, like I actually said, forex actually basically the exchange of currency pairs. That basically means, yeah, if you buy a currency pair when it's actually low and you sell it when it's actually high, you're gonna actually make money, right? Now, let's say for example, now I actually want to leave this country and I actually want to go to Dubai. I can't spend naira there, right? So I'm actually going to go to the Aboki them, right? Like let's say I actually have like, okay, let's say I actually want $1,000, right? I'm actually going to tell them that, hey, I want to say buy $1,000, right? He can tell me it's 585. Do you understand? So I'm going to give him 595,000 naira for that. Now that man didn't actually buy that thing for 585. He probably bought it for around 510 or 520 because they actually have a way they actually scale their own this thing. So that's like about 60,000 naira, 50,000 naira profit on just selling just $1,000. Now, in that way, that can actually sell up to like $10,000 and make over 5 million naira from just because he just basically bought that thing low and he sold it at a higher price. So that is just basically what forex really is. Do you understand? Now, when I actually carry my dollars and actually go to Dubai, I can actually spend a dollar in Dubai, in most places in Dubai, so places in Dubai. Right? Do you understand? So I have to actually change it to their local currency, the dirhams, right? So I'm going to actually contact someone and actually change. Now that person also bought that dirhams at a lower rate and is actually selling to me at a higher rate. Do you understand? So that is basically just what forex actually is. All right, that is basically just what it's just the exchange of currency pairs. You get this, you do that, and every single thing. All right, that is what forex is. Now, forex is the biggest and most liquid financial market in the world. Like it's so big that you can't actually compare any other financial market with it. You can't compare any other financial market with it. Now, the London Stock Exchange trades just $7.2 billion on an average in a day. Tokyo Stock Exchange trades $18 billion. New York Stock Exchange trades $22 billion. Why the Forex market trades $6.6 trillion every single day. Now compare 22 billion to 6.6 trillion. You're going to actually see there's actually a whole lot of difference. 2.22 billion to 6.6 trillion is not actually, it's not like, it's a whole lot. Do you understand? That's to show you how big Forex actually is. That is to show you how big the Forex market actually is. Do you understand? Now, how is it actually possible that how is it possible? Why did I actually trade so much? Why $6.6 trillion? Like, where did I actually have the money to trade it from? Right, that is because the major players in the Forex market are the central banks, large financial institutions, large companies, hedge funds, brokers, and a whole lot of things like that. Right? The central banks and commercial banks, they are one of the largest players in the Forex markets. Yeah, this actually trade Forex. Okay? Now, remember I actually said that Forex is just the exchange of currency pairs. You have dollar, you change to this, you have euro, you change to that. That is what Forex is. And I just explained now with the Aboki, and everybody actually got it. Now, have you ever been to the bank before? And you just look to your right hand, you actually see a big signboard there. We buy dollar at this rate, we sell dollar at this rate. Have you seen the difference between those two rates? If you want to actually buy, if you want to actually buy from me, they're going to buy it low. You don't see steps, they're going to sell it high. That is Forex. So because they are buying low and they are selling high, they're actually making profits. That is the normal way of trading, right? But the banks actually have traders that are actually trading it digitally. So not only are they actually trading it with normal buy and sell. They are also trading digitally through, brokers and all of that. So the banks are the major players in the forex market. We also have hedge funds, huge, companies shorting and longing, and different things, different pairs, you understand? So that is basically why the forex market can't be compared to any other market in the world. Now, I'm actually going to show you guys something. All right, I'm going to show you guys something quickly. Now, we all know Sanusi Lamido, right? Yeah, we all know Sanusi Lamido, right? See what Sanusi Lamido actually said about a couple of years ago, right? Sanusi Lamido said, what do you call it? In 2016, that was about 6 years ago. He said, I can sit down in my garden and make billions through the forex market without sweat. You see it? I can sit down in my garden. He did not say I can go to a 9 to 5 job. He did not say I can actually work my life out. He said I can sit in my garden. You don't need to sit in your garden and actually make billions that some companies don't make in a year. That some people don't make in their entire life. He can sit in his garden and make billions through forex without sweat. Now, who is Sanusi Lamido? He is the former or ex CBN governor. Now let's go down and read through this article very well. Now he was talking about interest rate and all those things, economic stuff, all those long things and all of that. Then he said, with my background in the banking sector, I'm now a royal father. I can sit in my garden and make billions through forex market without sweat. Did you see that? With my background in the banking sector, that basically means he has stayed with the banks long enough to actually learn how to trade like the banks. How else can he actually be trading forex and be making billions from his phone without sweat if he didn't learn from the banks? If he don't actually trade, do you understand? Sanusi Lamido is the biggest forex trader in Africa. You know what it means to actually make billions from your house? Billions of naira from your house. When forex market actually trading trillions, what is 1 billion naira to $6.6 trillion? It's actually trading $6.6 trillion. There's actually a lot of money to go around everywhere, right? As long as you can actually make the right predictions, you can actually get to this level. Do you understand? Now, we said this is how most of those we call billionaires made their money. Now, you see this young boy, oh, he's riding a nice Benz. Oh, this guy's riding a Ferrari. Oh, wow, see this guy, he just bought a house. Hey, or a house, rather. Hey, most of these people are either trading forex or crypto. Lots of them are trading forex or crypto. That is why you just feel like you're not really doing it. You're just like, this person, actually, people have not actually done money rituals. No, most of them didn't actually do money rituals. Most of them actually learned how to trade forex. And right now, they are still in their garden and making billions from forex. But because you're not actually seeing them actually do physical work, that's why you feel that probably they are doing something else. Probably they are doing, no. Do you understand? So that basically means if you can actually have access to the same information that Sanusi Lamido actually had access to, and take your time to learn it very, very well. Sanusi Lamido doesn't actually learn trade forex in 1 day or 2 days, but he took his time. Do you understand? But the fact that he actually took his time, that's basically why he can actually make this from his house to forex. Do you get? Right? Now, in this academy, you don't just have access to just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. You have access to lots of educators. And these people are not anyhow people who, if they show you their trading account and you go fear, right? When they actually, sometimes they just start with their account. Sometimes they will show you $2 million, $10 million, $15 million. Like if you check them on Instagram, you see their lifestyle, you see their Ferraris, you see the cars they're riding, the Rolls Royce and all of that. These people are very, very wealthy. And they got to this level because of forex. So if these people can actually grow their accounts to those levels from forex, from just as little as 500, as little as 100, as little as 200, that basically you settle down and learn from them, you can actually do that. Do you understand? So I just came here to just show you literally what forex really is and what forex can really do But it's a whole lot of money. Seriously, to be able to make billions and millions from your house is a whole lot. Just as so if you actually have an opportunity that can actually give you a whole lot, then you don't take that opportunity like less. Take that opportunity as a whole lot. Do you understand? Right now, like I actually said, things are moving up and down. Currencies are not actually staying the same. There's actually a war between Russia and Ukraine. What do you think is going to happen to what do you call it? To this thing? It's going to be, fluctuating. There's going to be lots of sharp movements up and down and everything because of multiple things actually affecting the market. Now, what actually does actually affect the forex markets? Right? What makes this market go up and come down? You see your candles start, you see it going up and coming down. You're like, this broker is trading against. Broker is not trading against you now. Broker doesn't actually have forex. It's not for broker is just like it's like a grain of salt in a mighty ocean when it actually comes to forex. So the broker cannot even anything. And you understand, if you're actually a good broker, not all those you understand, right? Yeah, if you're a regulated broker, they can actually manipulate all those things. You understand? You get. So what are the things that actually drive the market? What are the things that actually make that candlestick go so up? What will actually make the market spike you out? What will actually make the market move in a weird manner sometimes? All right. Now, what I call it, part of those things are economic news, right? Normal news events. Oh, this one actually happened. Oh, this year's election. Oh, this one. Oh, FOMC, blah 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 blah, everything. Oh, that one and everything. Right? It actually affects the forex market. Trade laws actually affect the forex market. Interest rates, right? Variation in interest rates and things like that actually affects the market, right? Natural or geopolitical events actually affect the forex market. I don't know. I don't know if I should actually categorize war into a natural occurrence, but you understand, right? Let's say, for example, there's actually probably a flood, at a particular country or something like. What if this happens to the value of that currency? You're actually suffering a major flood disaster, blah blah, and everything. The value of the currency is going to come down. What do you think actually happens when probably US releases the unemployment rates, blah blah, and everything, the whole NFT stuff and everything? That is actually a negative economic news. It's actually going to affect the market. It's actually negative. It's actually going to make the value of the US dollar actually come down. Do you understand? What do you think? What do you think? When probably okay, Saudi Arabia, let's actually say Dubai, for example. When they actually all started, they didn't really have GDP and everything, just normal this thing. But over time, they started actually getting, certain things together, started exporting fuel, started actually becoming, started designing their system in such a way that they actually became, nice area for, a nice place. They actually created a lot of places, right, for tourists and everything. Yeah, what do you call it? Their annual, gross this thing actually started increasing. What do you think will happen to the value of their currency? It's going to be affecting it gradually. It'll be coming up, right? As Nigeria is like this one is like that, this one is like that. Bad news. This one unemployment. This one down, down. But everything is affecting the value of naira. That is why it keeps depreciating, right? So economic news, events, different things actually affect the forex market, right? If you actually have what do you call it? If you actually let's say for example an election, as little as an election can actually affect the forex market because they're actually changing power from something to another thing. Do you understand? So this is basically what really makes those things go up and down. All right, is what really makes those things go up and down. Right now, when it comes to forex, right, there's actually what we actually call bulls and bears. I'm actually going to explain it. Now, I actually talked about economic news, events, and all of those things actually affecting markets and all of that and everything. But yeah, we also have buyers and sellers. Okay, buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers, they also move the market up and down. I'm going to actually come to that in a bit actually. Do you understand? The news events and all of those things actually affect the markets, but it's not like the news just comes out and it affects the markets, right? It's more like an impulse that actually triggers a certain type of reaction which actually causes the market to go down or go up. I'm going to explain that in a bit now. Now, remember I actually said, what do you call it? The Forex market is, exchanging currencies for another. Now, over the years, everything really got digital, right? To the extent that you can stay in your phone and buy and sell currencies. Now, those currencies are actually paired against each other, because if you want to buy a currency or you want to sell a currency, you're going to actually get on that currency now. Yeah, I want to actually buy dollar. I'm trading with naira and dollar. It's a pair. I have dollar. I want to actually buy euro. It's a pair. So I have to actually, euro, USD. Do you understand? I can't just say I want to buy dollar. If I'm buying dollar, I'm actually trading a currency to get dollar. You understand? It must actually be a pair. Oh, I want dirhams. I have USD. That is a pair. Dirhams, USD. You understand? Oh, I have GBP pounds. I want to actually get USD. I want to trade my pounds for USD. That is GBP USD, because I'm basically pairing two currencies together, right? So now it's actually digital. When you actually check, when it actually comes to Forex, you'll see things like the currency pairs. They are always in pairs, right? Now, there's what we actually call the host currency and the base currency. All right? Is everyone actually following me, or am I too fast? Is everyone actually following me, or am I too fast? Let me know if I'm talking too fast. Let me know so I can probably reduce my tempo. Let me check the chat box. All right. I should write down. Hope you are all writing things down, no. Because we can actually have a call like this and you don't actually write down things. Because everything is actually designed in such a way that we're going to correlate everything very, very soon. Do you understand? So if you're taking notes, when the whole correlation starts, all right, you're going to actually be understanding, oh wow, that's actually why this like, oh wow, that is actually, oh wow. Do you understand? So that's actually how it's meant to be. So don't be jumping in and out. Because at some point when we start the correlation, you'll be like, what are these people saying like this? Yeah. So like I actually said, the currencies are all in pair. Now you actually understand why they say Euro USD buy, Euro GP buy. It's because you are trading one for another, literally. Now, the first currency when it comes to the pair is called the base currency. All right. Let's say, for example, we are using Euro USD. That basically means Euro is the base currency, all right, and USD is the quote currency. Okay. Now, when it comes to Forex, these currencies are actually, the base currency is actually up and the quote currency is actually down, right? So now, the what do you call it? The what do you call it, right? Okay, how many actually put it now like this, right? Now, if you divide the value of the base currency by the quote currency, you get what we actually call the current market price. So as euro is going up and down and everything, okay, that's good. You want to have the current market price, divide the value of the euro, the value of the US dollar. Now we're going to actually do that physically right now. Okay, let's check the value of euro to naira. So we can actually see that euro is 455.67. All right. Now value of USD to naira is 415.95, right? So if you divide 455.67 divided by 415.95, can you see it? We have 1.09 blah blah and everything. So this is actually where the current market price is gotten from. All right. So as the economy is fluctuating, at every single point in time, it is calculating the ratio of the base to the quotes. the ratio of the base. So and news come up and it make the value of USD go up, go up. What's going to happen? But I need to actually allocate my screen right now because I think at this point in time, some people might actually start getting lost. I don't want to actually get lost on this call. All right. I don't want to actually get lost on this call. All right. So let's see. Let's do it like this. Right? So now we have, sorry, my screen. Okay. Now we have Euro, USD. Euro is the base, right? Base, and USD is the quote. Okay? Now, the ratio of the value of Euro to the value of US dollar gives the current market price, which is currently 1.09. What do you calculate? 1.0954, blah, blah, 0954, and all of that. So let's check the value of USD on our trading view. So the same thing when it comes to GBP pounds or GBP USD and every single thing, that is actually how it's actually derived. Can you see it? Euro USD is what? Euro is actually what? Is 1.09554. Can you see it? 1.095. What do you actually calculate? Can you actually see it? Euro USD on trading view is what? 1.0954. Euro USD here is what? 1.0954. That's how the value is gotten. All right. So now, from our knowledge of mathematics, we have one being the numerator and another being the denominator. These are actually currency pairs of two different nations. That basically means they're actually moving differently. All right. That basically means if there's actually a news or a bad event in US, the value of US like this actually will be affected. Right? If there's an election in US, the value of the US like this affected. Right? If the European Union, blah, 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 and everything, this is going to be affected. Do you understand? So now let's say, for example, there is actually a positive news on the US dollar. What if it actually happens? If there is a positive news on the US dollar, the value of the US dollar would what? Go up. Right? If there is a positive news on the US dollar, the value of the US dollar will actually go up. And when the value of the US dollar actually goes up, what do you think actually happens? If the denominator is bigger than the numerator, what do you think actually happens? That basically means this currency here will increase. Sorry. No, this currency is going to reduce. Do you understand? It's going to reduce. If the value of the US dollar goes up, the currency pair will reduce. And also, if there's a negative news on USD and the value of USD goes down, right? If it goes down, the value of this currency pair will increase. That is basically sometimes when you just see, we have red folder on USD, stay from USD, it's because of this thing. It's because of that red folder can make the value of USD go up or come down. That's why sometimes you just see 1 week will just come up, boom, and then push come in like, that is that news. You see that news? Number one bullshit news that causes reaction. That is because that news probably created a gain on one currency pair. Do you understand? So this is actually why the market keeps going up, going down, going up, all of that. Now I'm going to take what I just actually explained. I'm going to take it again. You have a fraction here, right? 1 on top of 1. Do you understand? Yeah? If the value of USD, okay, let's do like this now. Let's see, we have 4 as being the value of euro, and we have 3 as being the value of US dollar divided by 3. We're having 1.33, I mean. Now, if the value of the US dollar increases from 3 to 9, that's the positive news. So it increases from 3 up to 9. Now we have like 4 divided by 9. From 1.33, it has come down to 0.444. That is actually basically the positive news on USD dragged the currency pair down. Do you understand? And also there's a negative news on USD, and USD drops from 3 to like, let's say 1, 4 divided by 1. Sorry, let's say from 3 to, let's say, like 1.5. This is from 1.33 to 1 point, it's going to actually increase the value of the currency. That is basically why we actually have these things moving up. And also when it comes to euro, it's the same thing. Euro can go up and also come down. If the value of euro actually actually increases, what is going to happen to this ratio? If the value of euro actually increases, it is going to increase. If the value of euro also reduces, this ratio is going to reduce. That's what makes this market up, down, up, down, up, down, right? So that basically means the war between Russia and Ukraine is actually affecting some things. That basically means the FOMC is actually coming out, blah, blah, and it's going to actually affect some peers. Yes, sir. That basically means NFP news coming out first Friday of every single month actually affects a lot of peers. Why? Because most peers actually paired against the US dollar. Most peers actually have a dollar in them. You understand? So when there is a news, the largest news that actually affects the dollar, that basically means some pairs will be going up, some pairs will be coming down, some pairs will be going up, some pairs will be coming down. Now, what really makes these things really go up and down when all this news actually come out? All right? Okay? When it comes to markets, we have the bulls and bears. When you say the bulls, you mean the buyers. And when you say the bears, you mean the sellers. We have buyers and sellers. I don't mean bull like cow. I don't mean bear like Ronaldo. I mean I mean buyers and sellers. Right? So the market is constantly full of people buying and people selling. Do you understand? People buying and people selling. Now, this buy and sell orders actually just makes up the way the candlesticks really move. Right? Now, if we actually have 1,000 persons buying this currency pair, saying that the currency pair is going to go up, all right? And we have just 10 persons saying that this currency pair is going to go down. Okay, no, let's like this now, right? If you actually have 1,000 persons saying that this currency pair is going to go up, and we have 100 persons saying that this currency pair is going to go down. Now, those 1,000 persons saying going to go up are what we call the buyers or the bulls, right? And the 100 persons saying the value of the currency are going to go down are what we call the sellers or the bears. Now, this thing is not going to go up by 1,000 because we actually have 1,000 buyers and 100 sellers. It's rather going to go up by 900. All right? It's rather going to go up by 900. Okay? The bulls and bears are constantly pulling the market up and down, right? So it's more like $6.6 trillion, right, being circulated between bulls and bears, buyers and sellers, hedge funds and everything. And central banks, retail traders, all of them are just, dancing and, grabbing a share of the money, right? Okay, so if you actually have more people buying the currency pair, that basically means the currency is going to go up. Okay, so now when there's a news like, US actually had the worst employment rates in history this month. It just comes out like that. As what is going to happen? A lot of people go and sell the market, go and sell. They go and sell USD anyhow. They just be selling. Do you understand? So as a result of that, the market just come down very quickly because we're actually having more people selling the markets than people actually buying the markets. Right? If there's a flood, boom, and what they call it, one country like that have already flooded everywhere. This one died out, everything. People are like, who watch and start selling the currency here? Because obviously that is a negative news. What actually happens is that you're going to have more sellers than buyers, right? When you actually have more sellers than buyers, that means you actually have more bears than bulls. It now becomes a bearish market. Do you understand? If you have more buyers than sellers, now if you have more bulls than bears, it becomes a bullish market. So bullish is when the market is going up, right? And bearish is when the market is coming down. Do you understand? So when they say I'm looking for a bullish trend, that basically means I'm looking for this market going up. I'm looking for there to actually be more buyers than sellers in the market, right? So that is basically the correlation between news events and the traders. Remember, there is $2.6 trillion being traded. This news is not just man just move the market on its own. It is people that actually moving the markets. Do you understand? It's not actually moving the market. You have hedge funds that are trading billions. Sorry, trading billions actually, shorting the market with billions, pumping liquidity this, liquidity that, shorting this and everything. You have the central bank that actually managing interest rates, trying to balance it on every single thing, right? You have forex brokers, everything. You also have retail traders. This is ourselves, we are like we're the smallest in the market. Our own is just to come and just look at what the bulls and bears are really doing, and just look at decision and just look at small money and go. Because the bulls and bears, like, they are really fighting. Do you understand? They are really fighting, in the market. You get? So that is basically why the market moves up and down, right? News, economic this thing, that and that, natural event, blah, blah, all of that, yeah? But the main thing is actually the buyers and the sellers, right? That's why when it comes to Forex, you actually have a strategy. Because over the years, people trading the markets, the hedge funds, the Forex book, all of them, the central banks and the commercial banks, they all have a way of trading these markets. They all have, like this, will buy this market. Do you understand? So now if you come in and you learn what this person look for to actually take these trades, do you understand? You're going to know when this market would just have more people buying it. Do you understand? Because it's basically partially fighting the market. So if you can actually know what this party look for in the market, then you can actually take a trade when they're actually about taking that big trade or that short trade and every single thing. Do you understand? So that is basically how the market really works. Bulls and bears fighting the market. If you don't really get what I'm really saying, don't worry. The recording of this call is going to come out. Yeah? So you just take your time. I won't say you should actually leave the call, but the record is going to be out and you can just take your time to just go through it. You understand? So next time, tomorrow morning by 6 a.m., we're going to be having a scam session. When you see the market go up, and because you're like, look at that candlestick. Just know that this candlestick is going up like this because lots of people are actually buying the market. Why are lots of people actually buying the market? They actually saw something in the market. It's either the pattern got played out, right? They actually spotted something that, yes, it's time for us to really buy this market. Or there is a news event that actually affected a particular currency pair there that actually made people actually want to buy the market or buy that currency pair. Do you understand? That is basically what affects the market and trade the market. So now, I'm really just going to talk briefly about the Forex sessions. I don't really want to go deep into all these ones because that's like really Forex things and it's really interesting what we're already doing here. So in Forex, we have different, what do you call it, sessions, right? We have the close and open of different sessions. We actually have when, what do you call it? We have different sessions in the Forex, right? We have, what do you call it? The London session, yeah. We have the New York session. We have the Tokyo session. We have the Sydney session, all right? So all those things are, we actually have different pairs, right? We have the London, so we have the pounds, we have USD and all of that. You get. Then we also have the JPY pair and all of that. You get. So these are like different nations. Okay. So the actual sign is when some pairs become more active and all of that. When the session just being open, then you actually have more people actually trading on that pair, blah blah. Those can actually affect the market when systems actually interlocking or what they actually call it. Right, you actually have more actually buying or selling and everything. So at different points in time, the market actually experiences different pump in liquidity. Do you understand? Sometimes the market just be down, just be moving, just be fighting small, just be ranging. Do you understand? Because people are not really doing anything here. People are just looking and just taking nonsense trades and everything. But when a session is not opening, you now be having lots of people in that place actually just taking decisions on the pair, right? That actually causes, things like very large movements at different points and all of that. So when you actually, if you're really trading forex, watch the forex videos very well, you're gonna really understand the different forex sessions, what do you call it, interlapping of sessions and all of that, and the whole pairs and everything with the session and all of that. I'm not really going to go into that right now because that's just going to be eating more of our time. Yeah, we actually have to discuss, so we can actually be spending half our time discussing about forex. So now let's go to the next thing, right? Now, what are the biggest market movers? Right? One of it is actually inflation, right? Inflation just, what do you call it? It refers to the general price level of goods and services. Do you understand? General price level of goods and services. When you are when we call it, and what do you call it? What do you call it? Like, let's say for example, now you see a milk. Quick milk there used to be like, what do you call it? Like maybe 18 naira before. Right now it's only 200 naira. I mean, it's 300 already. You see, that's inflation. The value, the price of the milk is actually going up and everything. That basically means the value of naira is coming down, right? So as the prices of general goods and commodities in the country actually rising up, the value of the pair is actually going to be coming down. What can actually be making the value of what do you call it? This can actually be rising. There are a lot of things actually affect it. Yeah, lots actually affect it, right? Yeah, if the bank actually prints, if the CBN actually prints too much cash into the economy, it actually raises inflation rates. You understand? It actually raises inflation rates. So as a result of that, all this economy and everything, you just have to just balance and everything. And also, we also have GDP, all those things and everything. This actually affects the inflation rates. So when you actually have an economy that is not really making money, actually, from what they call it, this thing, from selling to other nations or their natural resources and everything, things like that, those actually going to be affecting things. It's going to actually affecting things. That's actually why I think Nigeria is just dying because they're not doing anything. The reason is just borrowing, and doing a lot of shady things, which I'm not going to be talking about on this call. So inflation actually affects the value of currency. That's why I actually have Nigeria is always, before now people will become foreign naira. And by the time people are foreign naira, by that time, naira to dollar is going to be like about 630, I 650. As the value of this general community actually increasing, the value of the currency pair is actually crashing and all of that. Yeah, then that's actually employment. All right, employment. All right, yeah, right. The employment status of the country actually affects the what they call the value of the currency pair. That's actually why when you actually see NFP news is just a release of the unemployment rate in the US, right? But once that news actually comes out, it actually just very affects the market. All right, it really affects the market and all of that. Then we also have trade balancing, quantity easing, all those plenty English, country country politics, and interest rates. All right, these are actually things that actually move, the forex market. All right. So how can you actually trade the forex? Now you already know what forex is. You really know what to move forex. You really know what makes the currency go up and go down and everything. You already know the whole lot. You really know the news and bears. You know this and that. You really know where the value of the pairs are really got it from. How can you actually trade those things? Right? Yeah. You can either trade them from centralized exchanges, okay, or what do you call it? Over the counter market. These are decentralized exchanges. Now, what is a decentralized exchange? Remember what I actually said is we actually have bulls and bears fighting, right? Okay, so that means when you actually have more bulls, money will go up. When you actually have more bears, money will come down. So that basically means nobody is determining the price of the forex market because you cannot come and determine when you need to buy, when you sell. The brokers are not determining any shit. Do you understand? Because it is people that are trading millions and millions and millions, $6.6 trillion, circulating this and circulating that between buyers and sellers. This is making this market go up and down. So basically, all forex brokers, right, or all legit forex brokers actually regulated, are all centralized. Do you understand? They're all centralized. Basically, the normal forex price and everything is just being displayed there, and you're actually making your own prediction based on your analysis and everything. And now that's what we call centralized exchanges. All right, which is actually what we call OTC, over the counter markets. This one is not really it's not actually the main forex market. It's more like what they call it. Okay, we just create a digital market with digital prices and all of that. And if I actually just fight and the market goes up and so the OTC market is the one in the forex market, because the main forex market is actually where you actually have everybody fighting, where you actually have news actually affecting and every single thing, right? But the OTC market is more like just within the broker. Do you understand? Yeah. So you actually make your prediction based on whatever you actually see there. It's not the main forex market. Then we also have synthetic trading, which is actually like this boom and crash and all of that. That is simply just like the whole OTC this thing, because it's not the real market. It's just more like a synthetic market that's created where bulls and bears just fight over things like that, and all of that. I've actually explained this, and that is basically going to be it about the first half. That is basically forex. Now, we all know what forex is, right? We all know what forex is, and we all know what moves forex. We all know why it goes up, why it comes down. We all know why it stays the same, and all of that. We all know we have all learned a lot of things from this call. Do you understand? Right? Now, what is HFX? Yeah. Now, what is HFX? But I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to be leaving this because I already done with the slide. I'm going to be going straight to what is HFX, HFX, yeah. All right. Hope we are all following and we are all learning a whole lot on this call. All right. If you are actually getting a lot on this call, can I see some value in the chat box before we continue? If you're learning a whole lot, can I actually see value in the chat? See, there's something about you trading something, and there's another thing about you understanding what you're actually trading, right? If I actually understand why it's actually happening, I'm not going to get frustrated. Do you understand? If I understand why I'm actually being spiked out, or why my trade actually going against me, I'm not actually going to be frustrated, because I actually know that I'm not actually making my predictions right. Right? I'm going to know that I'm not actually making my prediction right, and I'm going to actually work towards being better. It's not going to be like me saying, it's the forex, the broker, Accent hates me. Accent hates me. I hate HFS. Accent hates me. Because now you know that Accent, it's not among you. Do you understand? They don't among you. They're talking about $6.6 trillion. What's Accent doing here? Yeah? Accent worth up to $100 million. I'll be up to $60 million. So now we all know that the market is not anybody's mate, right? The market is just doing its own shit, all right? And we are actually making our predictions based off of what we are seeing in the market. Now let's go to HFX. Right? Let's go to HFX. Now, what is HFX? HFX is high frequency exchange. Transaction just dropped in the group chat for us. High frequency exchange. That is basically what HFX is. Okay. Now, HFX is a form of trading forex where you're not really like trading forex based on trading forex, right? But rather, you are making predictions of what the forex market is really doing. Yeah, it's a form of forex trading, right? High frequency forex. Yeah, but it's not like the traditional forex where you're like buying and then you're selling. Now in forex market, if you're buying, you're predicting the value is going to go up. If it's going up, it's in your favor. The longer it goes up, the more money you're making. We call it pips. All right, based on your lot and the amount of pips you're actually catching, your profit is going to be huge. So the more it's going up, the more that is going up, the more your money is actually going to be going up in Forex. And also, if you take a trade and it's going, if you say up and it's coming down in Forex, the more it keeps going down, down against your direction, the more your money is disappearing. That is what Forex is. But in HFX, we are not doing that here. We cannot come and start waiting for hours for the market to go up for us to make $20 when we can make it in 3 minutes. Do you understand? Yes, in Forex, you can hold a trade for 2 months, right? They call it actually swing trading, right? In Forex, you can actually hold a trade for 1 week, right? Right? You can hold a trade for like 6, 7, 8 hours. They call it intraday trading within a day, right? All of that. But in HFX, our trade is just 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, right? In Forex, if you take a trade and the market says, I'm not moving anywhere, the market says, let me show you guys something right now, right? Let me show you guys something, okay? Let's go to Bitcoin, right? Let's go to Bitcoin, right? So now, if you have to do something like this, okay, there are times when this market is just stay like this and not move anywhere. Like if you look at this is the 1 hour chart, all right? Don't get confused about this. If you're new, you're going to understand it in the 2. We're going to actually explain this in the 2, trading view and all of that. All right, so let's see. Let me show you something. Remember what I actually said that in Forex, it is the way, like the more it moves in your direction, right? So when you have the market not moving, you're not making money. Now, if you look at this is actually Bitcoin USDT. It's still like Forex, still Forex actually, because like it's traded like Forex, same analysis and every single thing, similar analysis rather. But now if you see here, this is actually an hour chart or an hour candle. So basically, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost 12 hours, this one was not moving. It was just staying there and looking. So basically, Forex traders were just waiting for it to take it to move. But internet traders, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they already made 10%. They already made 20%. Do you understand? Yeah. So in Forex, you have to be patient. You have to say, you have to move very, very well. But in HFX, that's minutes. That's why I really love HFX too. Because me, I don't like stress. I was trading Forex before, it was very cool and every single thing. But when I saw, like, I just sit down and in 1 hour, I can actually make 10%, I can make 5%. Like what I'm actually using days, not like days actually, but then monthly for it to actually go up to make things. Come on, HFX is actually soft for me. So that's why I prefer the HFX and actually discover the HFX. Now, I'm gonna actually clean this thing right now. We're already done with all these ones. Okay. Now, remember what I actually said. The market is constantly moving up and down and up and down and down and up and down based on the what? On the bulls and bears, on economic news, on events, on this, on that. Good. Now, in HFX, you're making predictions, 2 predictions. Either you are going to buy, we call it call here, or you're going to put. All right? This is you. All right? Either you're going to call or you're going to put in HFX. Now, if you're calling, you're predicting the market to go up, right? If you're putting, you're predicting the market to come down. But your profit is not determined by how long it goes up or how long it comes down. Your profit is determined by the amount you risk on the trade. Okay? Now, in HFX, if you're saying the market is going to go up, right? You're going to choose a time. Okay? You're going to choose a time when this market is actually going to take to actually go up. Right? So let's say, for example, I'm actually saying that within 3 minutes, the market will go up. I'm going to select 3 minutes for that thing. If I'm predicting the market to come down within 3 minutes, I'm going to select 3 minutes for that trade. And as long as the market goes up above my entry and remains above it at the end of my 3 minutes for the call option, I'm going to win the trade. As long as the market goes down below my entry at the end of that 3 minutes, I'm going to win the trade. All right. So now let's say, for example, this is the market going up and down. All right. Now the market comes here. I'm like, okay, I'll call. Now, the moment I click on call, the broker will just, Yoruba, they don't say ila. The broker will just palasibi. Do you understand? The broker just palasibi. That is my entry price. Now, if I clicked call, what I'm basically predicting is that this price at which I clicked on that call, this market should stay above this price at the end of 3 minutes. Okay. Now, this is the market doing its own thing, just chilling with the bulls and bears. And at this point, I say, I'll go for a call. The broker will help me for a CD, draw line here, right? Okay. And the broker will now draw another line here. This other line is the calculation of from here to here, which is going to be 3 minutes. Remember, I just said 3 minutes, right? So the time the market is going to take to get to this point is going to be 3 minutes. So now the broker is just looking at what the market is actually doing. Is it staying above this line? As long as when it gets to that 3 minutes, after 3 minutes, I say above, I've won the trade. So if probably after I clicked on the call, the market was doing things like as long as when it got here, it was above this line for a call, I'm going to trade. So all this up and down, it don't concern the broker. The broker owns that at the end of that 3 minutes, it should be above this line. Do you understand? That is just what concerns the broker. That's just what concerns the broker. Now, if you didn't really get it, I'm going to actually take it for put, and you should actually get it for put. All right? Then I'm going to show you a physical demonstration of it. All right? Now, you might actually say there's call and put, and exactly how long you are predicting or how long you're actually making a prediction. Now, the market is here doing its thing. Okay, at this point, I say I want to put. That basically means I'm predicting that this market is going to come down, blah, 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 blah. The moment I click on this put button in my broker, the broker will help me for CD. Let me draw line here. So that basically means I actually clicked on put. When the broker comes from 1 to 3 minutes, this thing should be below this place because that's my entry price. So this price is going to be, this line here is going to be the 3 minutes expiration time, right? So from here to here, the market will be going up and down, as long as when it gets to this 3 minutes, as long as when the broker is not counting 3 minutes, this is actually below my entry price, I'm going to actually win the trade. Do you understand? That is just how it is. Let me take it one last time, we'll call again. This is the market going up and down. All right. If I click on call, I'm pressing the market to go up. Okay, above my entry price. Now I'm going to select how long I'm making that selection. If I select 3 minutes, right? That basically means I'm telling the broker to check this trade after 3 minutes. And what I'm going to tell the broker is that when it's checking trade after 3 minutes, this price will be above my entry price. So the market is going up and down. The moment I click call, the broker draws the line on my entry price. That is my entry price. Do you understand? As the market is going up and down, the broker is just looking. The broker already calculated 3 minutes. This is 3 minutes. The broker already calculated. It's just waiting. It's looking at everything that's happening. I said call at that means I said call 3 minutes. That means I actually told the broker that I should check at 3 minutes. This price will be above my entry price. So the broker is watching what's actually happening. As long as this is actually above my entry price at the end of this 3 minutes, that means my prediction was right. And the broker will give me my money plus my profit. But if this thing I said is not correct, I took call, but the market now came below. That means I made a wrong prediction now. the broker will take my money now because I said I said something that will actually come to pass. Do you understand? So that is basically how HFX works. All right, you are making predictions on the forex market. Now, remember, the forex market is being moved by a lot of things. All right, there's actually ways they trade the forex market and all of that. Right? So that basically means you can actually trade HFX, right? If you actually understand how this market really moves. Oh, support and resistance. Oh, Bollinger Bands. Oh, Jimoku Cloud. Oh, RSI. Oh, Stoch, and all of that, right? Because if you actually calm down and learn a strategy, you can know when the market will just quickly go up or when the market will just quickly come down. And once the market wants to quickly go up and come down, you can just take the perfect entry points and click on your call and put and make money. That's just how it works. You understand? Now, how is the profits in HFX being calculated? Remember, I actually said call and put. As long as the market is in your direction, you're winning the trade. If it's actually against your direction, you are dashing the broker some, some money. Do you understand? Do you get? Yeah. So how is your profit being calculated in HFX? Now, look at all these things I just did now. All right. In Forex, your profit is based on the amount of pips to cash. That basically is the amount of time or the distance the market was in your direction. All right. If it goes up in your direction, more money for you. But in HFX, there's actually what we call the amount and percentage payouts. So in HFX, I'm going to be showing you very soon, right? In the broker, what is in the broker? The broker is just a platform or an organization that connects you with the main market. That's what the broker actually does, right? So the broker now, for every single currency pair they actually put there, they attach a percentage payout to it. So let's say UESD, you see something like 70% is there. I'll show you very soon. Let's say GBP USD, you see something like 60% is there. Just like that, all the pairs we have. All right. So now, what this actually means is that if I'm risking $10 on this trade, on a Euro USD trade, right? If I win this trade, this broker will give me 70% of $10 as my profit. And that is actually $7 extra. Right? If I take a trade on GPUSD, because the percentage payout is 60%, if I risk $10 and I win, the broker will give me 60% of $10, which is $6. So now what happens if I reach $100 on USD? Right, that basically the market goes in my direction, my position was right, I'll get $60. In how many minutes? In 3 minutes. That basically means if I reached $1,000, right, and my position is actually right, I win how much? $100. That basically means if I reach $10,000 in a trade and my position was actually right, I'm going to win how much? $6,000. In how many minutes? In 3 minutes. That basically means if I reached $100,000, yeah, $100,000, I would actually make $6,000 in how many minutes? In 3 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I have watched an educator reach $400,000 on a trade in my firm before and made $300,000 in 3 minutes. Like I woke up in the morning, very cold, 5 a.m. I joined the session and I watched this man make $300,000 in a trade. I won the trade and I won like $20. But $20 and $300,000, they're not the same thing. Like legit, he made $300,000. Let me calculate it so you just know what's actually here in this market. $300,000 times 583. That is 174 million naira. in 3 minutes. I've watched an educator in front of me. When the educators actually come live, they are teaching, and when they actually don't teach, they are trading. Now, before, when they are trading, they usually show their live account. You see it there. Their account will be showing like $10 million. Their account will be showing like $7 million. Their account will be showing like $18 million. Before, you see everything. If they're taking trade with $100K, you're seeing it. They're winning $60K in minutes. You're seeing it, you're like, wow, wow, wow. But I think there were some, complaints, like probably it was like people are now feeling that, when you actually come and you see things like, oh, you're seeing this person trading this huge amount of money, it actually affects people differently. For me, it was like a motivation for me. It made me know that, yes, I can really get to this level. Do you understand? For some people, it just made them want to just over leverage on their accounts. Do you understand? The educators are actually risking $200K. $200K of $10 million is even 2%. So yeah, it's just 2%. Right? Just 2% is risking. But because it is $200K, they can't just use $3 on their $100 account. They want to transfer using like $50. And then, as a result of that, I think the company's policy right now, you don't really show your account when you're trading. But these educators are still trading large amounts of money. So when they are calling out trades on their go live sessions, they are not using $5 or $2 or $1 to this trade. They are using 2 to 3% of their account, which is like $10K, which is like $20K, which is like $50K, which is like $100K, and they're making this money in minutes. That is actually the beauty of HFX. Now, HFX is so sweet that even when you're winning trades, you'll be happy. When you see the green bubble, you'll be happy. When the market is in the direction, you'll be happy. That's why you always see HFX that they always post the purple check. See, Forex trading there. You're not really simple actually. When you post, we took this trade, Bitcoin, this thing, $20, you see, you pass. But the moment you just see someone just do a nice views, hey, green bubbles, one in, shouting like, wow, you're like, wow. Because it's so exciting to just make $50 in like 2 minutes. Full salary. It's so exciting to make $500 in like 3 minutes. Do you understand? So that is basically how HFX works, up and down, call and put, expiration time, all right, amount, and percentage payouts. Now you get it. All right. So I'm actually going to share my screen right now. I'm going to be showing you the pocket option broker. Now we have different brokers in HFX. Like 2020 or so, I had the training on IQ I broke down IQ every single thing, this thing all over, and every single thing. I seen every single thing there. So if you actually using HFX or let's say you're using IQ on HFX, or you're using Byte Forex, or you're using risk options, or you're using binary cents, just go look for that video and watch. It's actually true. I have one HFX training 2021, right? And I have another one, IQ mastery, right? You watch the first and you watch the second one. It just, if I said, you can only ignore the first, you already watch this. Just go and watch the second one, IQ mastery. It's about 1 hour, 30 minutes. You don't actually understand every single thing about the IQ data, right? So I'm not going to explain IQ or this one's here, right? Today's one is for pocket options. So in the next like 10 minutes, I'm going to be sharing my screen and I'll be showing you top-down analysis of top-down on how to use pocket options. From how to use it to take trades, how to know your close trades, how to actually know how many minutes you actually have left on your already existing trades, how to change pairs, how to actually select your favorite pairs, how to blah blah every single time, how to change the candlesticks to do this thing, fixed time on, fixed time off, and all of that. How to fund, and also how to withdraw. I'm going to show everything on this store. So basically, if you're someone that is just new, this should actually be for you. If you're someone that's also old too, it's also for you. So you're going to learn some things about the pocket options broker that you probably didn't even know stuff before. You understand? So let's say I'm actually new and I just come and I just watch this, and then from there I open my pocket option and I learn how to use my pocket. I can just start playing with the market and I'll demo. All right. So yeah, that is it. Yeah. So I'm just really going to briefly explain just few things before I actually go to the pocket option and all of that. Do you understand? Now, I explained something about the brokers and how easy that is to make money. Yeah. All right. But for you to actually get to those levels where you can actually start making 500, 1K, 2K dollars monthly, it's not that you just wake up one morning and just find yourself there. Do you understand? It's a growth process. I would actually explain the compounding plan again. Yeah. So you can just really understand the growth process. Do you understand? Yeah. So what they call it in HFX, right? There is actually what we call, or in Forex rather, there is what we call, what do you call it? There is what we call risk management. All right. Now, the fact that you can make 50% of your account in 3 minutes doesn't mean you should risk 50% of your account per trade. Just like. Now, something about this academy that is very beautiful is that not only do they teach you strategy, all right, they also teach you, you know, how to manage your risk. Now, see, when it comes to forex trading, yeah, the difference between a good forex trader and someone who is still in the learning process, right? There's really nothing like bad forex trader. You can never be bad as long as you're learning, right? We are all learning. I'm still learning. I still watch some things. I still attend go live sometimes, like to learn some new things about forex, even crypto, because I'm still learning. I know the more you know, the more you become, the better you become, right? There are things I didn't even know 1 year ago, but I actually know it's right now because I kept learning. Do you understand? Right. So the difference between a good forex trader and someone that is in the learning stage is accuracy and risk management. So, so now, what is risk management? All right. What is risk management? Risk management is basically the amount, also risk management is basically knowing how to manage the risk. All right. Okay. So what do you call it? The amount you risk per trade actually goes along with actually define you when it comes to trading. Now in HFX, if you have $100 like this, yeah, you can raise all these $100 and probably make $70 in 2 minutes, in 3 minutes. Why you not do that? No. Why? Because when it comes to forex and crypto or whatever this thing, nobody owns the markets. It's more like you're having like $6.6 trillion being circulated between millions of people, probably even billions of people, constantly buying and selling the markets. And I now carry 100% of their account. I don't understand. Are you communicating with all these people to tell them what to do? You're not communicating with them to tell them what to do. You don't know what they actually want to do. You can only make predictions based on what they actually meant to do. Do you understand? So when it comes to forex trading, you can't be 100% all the time. Now there are times when your strategy can be 100%. Yeah. I think January, for like the first 3 weeks of January, I was doing 100%. But I think the last week in January, I probably went like I think 5-3 or so. Right? So at the end of everything, I actually ended up like I think it's 8 or 7%. Do you understand? Yeah. So you can actually be 100% sometimes, but not 100% every single time. Right? So when it comes to forex trading, it's more like you trying to manage your risk, right? Try to be disciplined enough to like grow yourself to a particular level, right? Because you're not going to win all trades. All right. Now, your accuracy in forex or HFL is being calculated in percentage. It's more like the ratio of your wins to your losses, right? Now, the indicators in this platform, they have very high win to loss ratio. It's more like sometimes they have 89%, sometimes they have 90, sometimes they have 88, sometimes they have 85, sometimes itself. Do you understand? So that means they're not always winning all trades, right? But they are winning way more than they can actually lose. Like, you understand? Now, when it comes to trading, because you can actually risk 100%, doesn't mean you risk 100%. In HFX, in Forex, whatever thing, in Forex, when I actually start trading Forex, they will teach us how to calculate 3% of our account. Like your lot size and your pips, when you multiply everything together, it should be showing you 3% of your account. not more than 3%. If it's more than, nothing to trade. If you're going to be using a larger lot size, then a larger, you're going to be capturing a larger, if your stop loss is going to be like larger amount of pips, so then you're going to actually have your lot size to keep your loss, if you lose a trade, not more than 3%. Right now, in HFX, we raise between 1 to 3% of our accounts. Right, let's say 2 to 3% of our accounts. I'm going to actually explain why now. If you are to take 50 trades, let's say you're raising 2% of your account, right? If you're raising 2% of your account, that means if you lose one trade, you've only lost 2% of your account, and that means you still have 98%. If you lose another trade, you've only lost and that's 2% of your account, and you still have 96% of your account. Do you understand? So for you to lose your total equity, that basically means you actually lose 50 trades in a row. So there's no way you can actually lose 50 trades in a row, except you're just guessing. If you're choosing your educators can never lose 50 trades in a row. If they lose one trade, probably just one trade, next they're going to be like four more to cover up with the loss. Do you understand? Yeah? Do you understand? So when it comes to trading, it is more like you managing a risk. Yeah. So if they tell you risk 3%, you risk 3% of the account. Then for every trade you lose just 3%. Right? For you to lose your total equity, you're going to have to lose like 33.333 trades in a row. How will you lose 33 trades in a row now? Even someone that was just trading HFX, they just knew themselves that will just come and start taking call, put. They are still like going 7-0, going 7-1. Do you understand? You get. So basically, if you're following the proper risk management, yeah, you are actually like not likely to actually lose your equity. Like it's not impossible to actually following the proper risk management. Yeah, so when actually happens like, oh, I did this one, I did that one, it mostly comes down to their what they call their risk management. All right. Now, if you take a trade and trade actually 3%, that is one entry. If you lose that trade, how many percent do you lose? 3%. So now, if you take 5 trades, like that same trade, take it 5 times with 3%, right? You take one trade, take it 5 times with 3%. That means you're risking 15% of your account. A trade though that is 3 that your amount is 3%, but you take it 5 times, that is 15%. So if you lose that, you're going to lose 50% of your equity. So multiple entries are not your friends when it comes to trading. If you're taking one, just take one and leave the remaining one alone. And that one should be more than 3%. That is how it is. Yeah, that is actually how it is. All right. So one trade, 3%. That is it. Not 7 trades. Not like they call one trade and say, "Coach, I'm going 11-0." How did you go 11-0 with one trade? That is risk 33% of your account. You understand? Because 11 trades of 33%, that is 33%. Do you understand? So that is actually over leveraging, and over leveraging and trading are not good friends. Do you understand? Yeah, so that is basically it. All right. So when it comes to trading, they always advise you within 2-3% of your accounts. Now I'm going to actually explain the compounding plan and how people actually grow their accounts to large amounts. Now, when it comes to this academy, something I really love about this academy is that there's this misconception about Forex. People say that, Forex, I need a lot of money. Like, when you don't need a lot of money, all you just need is just actually have what they call a plan, right? Have an accurate strategy, have a plan, right? And draft out your compounding plan. That is just it. Because with as little as $50, you can actually grow an account to like over $1 million. You can go as little as $100 over $100,000. Yes, and that's actually it. Before it. So most people actually say, I need a lot of money. That's why some people just say, they don't know. They don't have to trade anything. They don't say, I'm looking for sponsors. Sponsor to sponsor what? So what do you want to sponsor? So it's actually people actually putting themselves in uncomfortable situations. You say, I have this friend. I don't know why I don't know why I'm it, but he just felt like he wants to actually open a trading company. and got investors just kept giving me money to trade, and everything just went haywire. And then it was like why you? I told him this is actually it grows from this to this. You just need this. I didn't know you already started this, doing this and everything. You understand? So in forex, you don't need much money to make much money, right? You can go as little as $100 to $100,000, and that's when you build your first trade. Do you understand? You get. So don't have the concession that more I'm starting this thing now like this. So I just $50 what I get to how I grow to this amount. That educator I told you that made $400K in that account, he grew that account to over $19 million. $19 million, and he started trading with just $500. Most of the people that say that I need big money to for a big money, the account never reached $100K. We thought the big money they have been getting. You understand? So you just understand it's first learning the strategy. Number two, your risk management. And number three, your compounding plan. Just take it small, so you're trading your own account yourself. Small, so you go in. Don't look for big money to fund $100 for that. Okay. If you want 300 or 500, okay. But don't really go more than that. If you want the highest, actually, if you want to fund for it, you feel like this and the boss and everything, 1K. No more than that. Grow that account to 10K. Go that account to 50K. Go that account to 100K, and they keep saying that. So I go $100 account to 2,000. But I don't really need you to like grow your account. You want to just that, coach, I've grown my account from $100 to $2,000. I'm like, wow, congratulations. Wow, that is because that shows that you can be consistent and disciplined enough to do that. And if you can do that, after this, you can go 200K, right? We have lots of 6-figure traders in this organization, in this team. They're actually within you, don't even know themselves. You only heard me and Alex. You can actually be in the affirmations, you can even be at an event now close to a 6-figure trader. But people don't really like talking about their accounts for security reasons. Do you understand? We're in Nigeria, we're not in USA. You get. So that, and also because of attention, people don't really like that. That's why most people just don't talk about that. They only tell their coach. I want to tell their coach, coach. I just do my account 100K. I'm like, congratulations. Let me create like, no, coach, don't create like, please, I don't want. Go account 100K because of the way Nigeria really is. Do you understand? So now, how can you actually go $100 to $100K? Now, in trading, all right, we have what we call, what do you call it? Yeah, your risk management, all of that. Now, if you're risking 3% of your account on a trade, if you win the trade, and let the percentage be 70%, right? If you win the trade, that's going to be giving 2.5% profit. Did you get that? Did you get that? If you risk 3% of your account on a trade and you win the trade, right? That will give 2.5% profit. If the percentage was 70%, should you calculate it? Or there's no need? Let's calculate this. So 3% times 0.7. 2.1, yeah. But anyhow, yeah, let's say 2.5. Right. Okay. That basically is the percentage cost like 80%, you get like 2.5. Do you understand? So that basically means if you win 2 trades like this, let's say you take 2 trades with 3%, if you win those 2 trades, right, you're gonna actually make 5%. Abi? If one trade, if you win one trade and you get 2.5%, that basically if you win 2 trades, 2.5 times 2 is 5%, Abi. That means just basically. Well, can anyone hear me? Can you hear me drop some words with okay, yeah, I think everyone can actually hear me. All right. Okay, so if you win 2 trades, that is 5% profit for you. Right? 5%. Okay. So that basically just as little as 2.20. Coach, I went 20. They've actually made 5%. So now what actually happens if you go 30? If you go 40, you can actually make like 10%. Because 2.5% times 4 is 10%. So some people like right now, see they actually make 10%, but they don't actually know they even make 10% because they don't really see it that way. They see it as $1, at $5, at $20. They don't really see it as the percent. Do you understand? And I'm really going to talk about that on day four, or we're already going to talk about that on day four. You know how to actually chase percentage and not actual amounts. Do you understand? So yeah, so that's 10%. Now we don't actually trade forex on Saturday and Sunday because the first market actually closed. Except we want to trade OTC. Yeah, so the first market actually closed on Saturday. So we only trade Mondays to Fridays. So that is like 5 days in a week. That's like 20 days in a month. Yeah. So if you actually make 5% every single day, an average of 5% every single day, all right, and you actually have 20 days in a month, that is at the end of 20 days, you have actually made 100% profit. And the 100% profit is just as little as just going to and O on every single day. Some days you go 3 O, some days you go 1 O, an average of 2 and O. As little as 2 and O, you can actually make 100%. I know the most 100% is literally you going $50 to $100. 100% is literally you going $100 to $200. It's literally you going $20 to $50. Yeah, that's 130% or so. That is 100%. All right. So now, let's say, for example, you start, you see this now, right? 2 trades, 5%. 1 month, 100%. So now, let's say, for example, now you start trading $100. Let me just show you. Now, this is $100. If you're risking 3%, 3% of $100 is how much? $3. That is just $3. That's 3%. Okay. Now, 2 trades in a row, that is 5%. That's $5. So in a day, you made $5. You keep doing it, and at the end of the month, you go to $100. How much? $200. Oh, that's good. That's good. Coach, I just give my account now. Wait, congrats. Wow. I started to celebrate when I hear things like, Coach, I just give my account to wow, that's 400%. How many months? 2 months. Wow, you're doing very well. Yeah, because there is a nice achievement. Because you can go 100 to 200, you can go $100,000 to $200,000. Now, the next month, you're with, ever just listen closely, you're with $200. Same discipline, same 3%, but this time around, your 3% is not $3. Your 3% now is how much? $6. And your 5% profit now is not longer $5, it's now $10. So same number of trades, same number of days, but now your profit now is $400. Right? Now your day 3, your month 3, they will how much? $400. Same thing, 3%, 3%, 3%, but now the amount now is double because your account now is double. So now you make 100% profit again. Those accounts how much? $800. The 4th month, you're with how much? $800. Same 3%, but now because accounts how much? $16. So that basically means in 4 months, you have grown your account from $100 to over $1,000. Now let's go to the 5th month, you have $16. Same 100%, and that goes your account how much? $3,400. Now everything listen carefully because we're actually going everything about to get very interesting right now. All right. So now this is the 5th month. 6th month account is now at 32, right? 100% it goes to $6,400. So that means, sorry. So that means in how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have grown $100 to $6,400. All right. Now let's continue. Now then you have your 7th month where you grow 64 to $12,800. So that means in 7 months you have grown $100 to this amount from just looking as little as 5%. So when you make 5%, that is it. That is actually what we take account. And look at this now. When you actually have 10K, let's do all these things, right? That is actually what we call the compounding plan. So now let's do all these things now. Let's know these things. All right. So now, if you have $10,000 in trading accounts, if you make 100% at the end of the month, is that not $10K profit? If you make 70%, is that not $7K? Are you seeing it in 1 month? So that's why I said the 5 people traders will be doing 5K, 8K, 10K in a month because obviously they're actually making it because their accounts actually up to. But for this 10K to make that $7K, they didn't use $5K per trade. They were just risking they are still risking just 3%. And that is just $300 per trade. 3%. So the terms are just using just $200 to $300. This it. You understand? You get. So now let's just continue this thing. I think 7 months got us here, right? So let's say, for example, let's say probably you don't make 100% every single month. You're just looking at an average of 70, or let's say 65% or 70%. That basically is going to take you like approximately a year. A year to grow $100 to the level where you can start making $7K every single month. $7K is like, it's a whole lot too. It's like over 6 million naira or so. I mean, right? No, it's not over, sorry. It's about 3 point something million naira or 4 million naira. So even if you're not making 100% every single month, when you're making just 60, 70, 80%, and it takes you 1 year to grow your account to that level, once your account stays at that level, you can make at least $60 every single month. Right? Now let's continue for the next couple of months. Then you have $10K, right? And you make 100%, this goes to $20K. Then you have $20K, you trade it again, this goes to how much? $40K, same 100%. Then 40K grows to 80K, $80,000, and 80K, $80,000 grows to over $100,000. This is month 1, month 2, month 3, and month 4. So once you grow your account to 5 figures, you can actually just put just 4 to 5 months or 6 months to grow the account to 100K. And if you actually have $100,000 in trading accounts, right? 60% of it, $60K. Do you understand? $60 is lots of money. That's the when I just come to FX, when people are just like, no, don't. Just be patient. The money I'm talking about here is blood money. Do you understand? $60, who actually needs $60 every single month from FX? That is 34 million. So when I actually say that educator gave his account to $19 million, that basically means he didn't use 3 years to grow his account to that level. So that means this 100K, you still give 200K. You still give 200K to 400K. You still give 400K to 800K. You still give 800K to 1 million. So he got $19 million and he got there in 3 years. And that $19 million is not really more than 1% of his account because it doesn't need to. Do you understand? So if you didn't really get a calculation, just start it 1 month. First month you make 100%, go your account 200, second month times 2, third month times 2, fourth month, 5th month, 6th month, 7th month, 7 months at 10K, 8 months, 9th month, 10th month. Do you understand? Right? So when it comes to this thing, you really tell yourself waste and time to really grow and also just understand what you start to benefit from. This last bit about the compounding plans. Now let me share my laptop screen right now and go to pocket options. All right. So I would like to actually start with opening a demo account first. Let me share this. All right. So like I said, this call is actually recorded, right? So that basically means long after this event, you can still go to this screen, you can still share this screen with your downlines and all of that. So they can just keep having access to this information. And they can, learn things that are actually very nice for them. Right? Now I'm going to share my laptop screen right now. So Oh, sure. Just got disconnected. Or should I use my phone? Because most parents use their phones to be trading HFX, right? Most parents use their phones. Let me use my phone. Because most people use their phone with pocket. I actually use a laptop. Then I should use laptop. You're welcome. You're welcome, Chukwemeka. Which one should I use laptop or phone? Because I think most people actually use their phone to trade. Okay, phone, laptop, phone, laptop, pin, pin, pin. The phone's actually got it. The phone's actually got it. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. Only one person actually say laptop. 99% says phone. More booze than beers. Bearish movements. All right. So let me share my phone screen. I'm gonna start with actually opening a demo account on Pocket Options. I love, yeah, phone is actually convenient. It has to don't let the market actually overbuy. All right. So thank you very much, Elizabeth. Yeah. So as you open a demo account, what you're just gonna do, just come to your browser and just check Pocket Option. All right. Can you see the website? For those that are actually very new, Pockets, like your pocket, an option beside it. If you search Go, you would see this PO3, leave that one, and all of that one. Scroll down to this one that has the nice, beautiful blue logo here. Right, then click on Pocket Option. Click on it. So when you click on it, it's going to take you down here. Right, you can see login at the top right hand corner. You can see the drop down menu here at the top left hand corner. Right, so whichever you want to do, if you want to click here and click on registration, just click the top left hand corner here. If you don't actually have an account here, click registration. Now let's go again. You go to Pocket Option here, click on the top left hand corner, this three horizontal dash, then click on registration. I see. Now you put your email here, then use can then use let's say password, they'll be like I don't know, which of us bootcamp. Which of us bootcamp, right? Password which of us bootcamp. Right? See, it's very easy. Click here, click sign up. Or alternatively, you can just click on Google and it's going to select your email address automatically for you to use. Right? Okay, I've already used okay, well, sorry. Let's use which other email do I actually have? I'll use this one. Okay. This is serious. Sorry. Let's just go and go to that. Click on sign up. And it brings you here. Can you see? Continue demo trading, all of that. So just click on continue demo trading. So the moment you do this, it's going to give you a demo account immediately. Okay. Now, can you see the screens here? Okay. Right. If you look up, you're going to see $1,000. This $1,000 is the your demo account, right? If you want to see top up your demo account, you just click on demo. You see top up, click on top up. Top up. The amount you want to add, select it. I want to add $1,000, click on add. You add. So that basically means you can keep getting more money on your demo account for the rest of your life. You understand? Yeah. So don't be scared of using a demo account. Use your demo account, play very, very well. You understand? But when you go live, don't play like that too. Because you cannot top up a live account except you're actually moving money from your bank account. Yeah. You can't top up a live account except for moving money from your bank account. You get, but then you can keep topping up and all of that. Do you understand? So top up again, top up. Right. So I think I need top up to $10K, but don't really top up, just leave it at 1K here. So you can actually, you know, you can actually be monitoring what you're really doing. You get, because if you're using like so large amounts, you just get so comfortable with using so large amounts, and then when you now fund your normal account, it's now look as if you're not even making anything. So yeah, so let us make it round figure. Thank you. So when I'm calculating 3%, it shouldn't be so complicated. All right. Sorry. Sorry. So now you can see these candles here. In Forex, they're actually what we call candles. Candles actually the graphical representation of the bulls and bears, the buyers and sellers and every single thing. Then we also have a call time frame. We're going to talk about those ones very, very well tomorrow. By sorry, we'll talk about these ones tomorrow during the boot camp tomorrow by 9 p.m. We're going to talk about this candlesticks, what they really represent. But this actually represents the market moving up and down. So if you see green, it means the market is going up. If you see red, as you can see, the market is coming down. All right. So now, alternatively, you can actually change to a line chart. Remember, for my annotation, I actually use the lines to actually represent the schemes. So if I actually using candlesticks, it may be complicated for you, or maybe I don't know. You click on these three dots here beside the AUD card OTC, these three dots. You can see these things here. So when you click on these three dots, see these candles like this. See three dots, these candles here beside that M1. Three dots, this thing beside that M1. Click on it. Then you can see candles, bars, Hekenashi, and line. You can change the line. All right. You change line now, changes this thing from candlesticks to one line. So in that way, you can actually see it the way it's just going up and coming down easily. You can also zoom in, pinch in and out to zoom in and out of it. So you can really see your own tool and all of that. You get, you understand? You get, yeah. You can navigate, you can scroll and all of that, like using your finger to touch it. Right? So now, the, sorry, can you see this AUD card? What is it? Right? If you click on this AUD card, it shows you your currency pairs. So now we have currencies. We have currency pairs as normal forex currency pairs. Beside the normal currency pairs, you're going to see this dollar sign. Can you see this dollar? It's been selected already here. Now, if you click this B basically means Bitcoin, but it's actually this is a symbol of Bitcoin, but it's actually used to actually represent cryptocurrencies. So if you click on it, it changes to cryptocurrency. Here they have just Ethereum, they have Dash, and they have Bitcoin. If you click on this oil, it's going to show you the oils. What you trade oils in here. You actually have stocks. You can trade stocks in FX too. Do you understand? But they are all OTC. That is thing is not the real stocks and all of that. It's just like the whole broker creating a synthetic market that people can actually just use and make money. Then we actually have indices, but index itself is still OTC. Then you have your favorite pairs. If you select your favorite pair, we're going to be showing you here. Then try it. So let's select this. All right. So you can see all these pairs. Now everything is showing OTC right now. Yeah, because the broker doesn't actually have live currency pairs right now. But in the morning tomorrow, just check it. You're not saying OTC here. But what does OTC basically means that this is not really correct than the forex market. This is just more like a synthetic market. So the value of this pair you're actually seeing is not actually the main value of the pairs. Do you understand? So if you come to pocket options and you're seeing OTC, my brother, don't trade it. You understand? Because it's not a real market. Your cash app is not going to work with OTC market because you're not actually seeing the price of the OTC this thing ticket. You come here and check and you see OTC, is not OTC, and just pick the pair and not like OTC beside them. Right? So now they actually select pairs are going to be shown in this of privilege. You don't actually see actually a privilege section here. Right? If you click on beside ADC, you can actually see star. Click on that star. Once it's I've started sorry, the star of usage of star. I've started. If I come under this star, I'm going to see them. You understand? So if you're probably using your laptop, if you're using a laptop, it's going to be smooth, it's going to be arranged in your top. So you can just easily navigate through like that easily. So basically, if you're making analysis on different fields, you can just, after making analysis, just start them. So it's going to be easier for you. If you're using a laptop, navigate through them. Just easily switch you have the call like 5 trades or 6 trades, you see the river, you just start everything. So your laptop is going to be showing up to your 9 you can easily navigate through them. Your phone is going to be showing like this, but I think you can actually change the desktop with the phone. The desktop may make it a little bit smaller. So that is basically it. So you can just switch and switch and switch. Now these pairs are meant to be arranged, they're actually arranged differently. So can you see this percentage here? This percentage basically means that these pairs are currently arranged according to their percentage payout. You understand? So you actually have the highest paying pairs up and the lowest paying pairs down. But this can actually be so confusing. Like let's say for example, I tell you NZUSD, I'm like, where's it? Because you don't know this thing. So what I basically do is that I used to change it to A to Z. You understand? So what A to Z actually does is that it arranges this in alphabetically from A to Z. So basically, if they tell me NZUSD, then it will be down. You understand? Because it's N is actually close to Z. You understand? If they say ADJ, then it will be up. You understand? So yes, if you're on the session and the coach, let's see, and you can sorry, actually call it, sure, call it peer. Let's say he said, oh, I'm looking for a call on card CHF or sorry on ADNZD. Just click here and select your ADNZD. You know, you will say CHFJ2. I come here and select your CHFJ2. You understand? You get, yeah. So what you actually do when you just want to start trading, you want to click on this thing, right? And you come here, right? What I usually do first, I start with, I just come here, select my currency pairs, and I'll select it to Z. So it can be easy for me to navigate through them when they arrange in the alphabetical order. Yeah. So after seeing that, having said that, yeah. So if you want to switch between your demo account and your live account, right? Just click on this demo here. You'll see all of them here. You'll see your live accounts. Click here when you change your live account. But I don't actually have any money here. So it's actually showing that we'll come to that in a bit, but I actually have to switch between your demo and your live account with pocket option, right? So this is actually the price going up and down, going up and down. Now there's actually what we call fixed time on and fixed time off. Right, I'm going to actually explain. I was actually doing that first time, but I actually need to fix that because now remember actually sitting about 3 minutes. So that basically we actually select 3 minutes and to get 3 minutes. All right. But now there's this thing that actually calls there's this thing that we actually call fixed time on and fixed time off. So if I actually using fixed time on, that basically means you're saying that whenever you select 3 minutes, you should get the fixed 3 minutes time. You understand? So if your fixed time is actually on, as long as it's on, you keep getting that fixed 3 minutes time. You understand? But if your fixed time is actually off, right? That is you're saying that the book actually give you a fixed time. All right. You should rather give you time based on a particular what do you call it, particular thing, right? So now let's say for example, like right now, I think my fixed time is still on. So if I select 5 minutes or so, I don't know, 5 minutes, or let's say 3 minutes, right? That basically means anytime I click on the channel, I'm going to get it fixed 3 minutes time. You understand? So this is actually fixed time on, right? But we don't really change fixed time on, so we like actually using our fixed time off because we really like having less than that 3 minutes. So you get the fixed time off, you click on this beautiful circle clock. There's a beautiful circle clock here. See, when you see this three, all right? So you see this circle here. You see this thing here, this circle. So it looks like a clock that's actually showing 9 p.m. So if you click on this, it's going to show something like this. So right now, it's changed, right? It's no longer fixed time on, it's fixed time off. You get. Now you select here, you can select your time. Let's say for example, select 3 minutes. Yeah. So you see now, you have this countdown, counting down, right? So right, basically, if I actually enter my trade right now, I'm going to get 3 minutes. I'm going to get 2 minutes, 51 seconds. If I wait and if I wait until actually 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and I click on it, let's say I click on it now, I'm going to get 2 minutes, 41 seconds. Do you understand? That's what we call fixed time off. So this one will keep counting till it gets to like about half of the time I selected. And we're going to actually reset. So at any single point in time I actually click on this page, right? I'm actually going to get, time based on my clock here. And it's keep counting down. Do you understand? If I click on it right now, I'm going to get 2 minutes, 18 seconds on my page. Do you understand? And all of that. You get so that's counting. Let's just wait and watch it. When it comes down to 1 minute 37, let's actually reset and let's come back to 2 minutes. So most times when we're actually trading, it's actually fixed time off, right? So it's actually okay. So okay, in pocket options, it comes down to just 60% of the time. So if it's 3 minutes, it's gonna come down to 2 minutes before it finally reset. But with I%, it comes down to half the time. That's if it's 3 minutes, it's gonna count down to 1 minute 30 seconds. Do you understand? Yeah. So that was it. So to change your expiration time and all of that. So this clock, this you click it, yeah. Like you click on 2 minutes, you can select 1 minute. This is if you click here, you can select 2 minutes. This is right. You click on here, you can select 3 minutes. Now let's watch. Don't actually change after everything, right? That is basically it. About fixed time off. Let's try something. Let's try something. I want to ask you something. So that's basically it about it. So when we're actually trading, we actually use this fixed time, like this. Yeah. So when you come here, let's take it from the beginning. All right, let's take it from the beginning now. Click on here. Let's go back to the, yeah. Let's make $72 now, just like that. So this $20 just increase $10 $70 in just 1 minute, because later 1 minute. Yeah. So when you come, I'm going to be showing like this. Click on this clock, nice and smooth. It changes to this. Look at the clock, change to this. So you click on this time here. You select the time. M1 means 1 minute, M2 2 minutes, M3 3 minutes. Select M3. That gives you 3 minutes of trade. All right. So can you see the strike price here? Strike price is the current market price. You see it's going from 127.314. Yeah, that's the market going up and down. So we are looking at CHFDPY. Let's change it to USD, right? So you can see it's 1.10 going up and down. Now it's current market price. This is actually our time. Select 3 minutes, right? So this is actually where you actually see the amount. So you can actually select your amount here, right? So you shouldn't even have to put this in your account. So let's say you're using $30, or let's say you're actually using $100. That should be like $3. Let's say you're actually using $20. That should be like $300 or so. Right. So click on what is good. $300. Yeah, yeah. So you click on this star. You click on this star here, it increases the automatic amount change for you. You understand? If you click on these two dots beside, see this two here, you can easily just come here and just manually put the amount you want to use, probably $20, $200, start whatever thing, right? But if you just want to be automated, just click on this star here just to change different options. Do you understand? Or like see to the left hand side of the two, you can see star. To the right hand side, you can actually see two dots. If you click on this star, it's going to be showing you an increased amount. If you click on this two, it's going to show you reduce. Let's see. I'm someone who doesn't enter a trade. I don't want to start coming and start pressing all this. Just come and just start. Just select my amount. And actually I'll select $200. Yeah, yeah. So this kind. You can see that's changing in the amount section. But then alternatively, you can also include the amount for $20 or 21 or 13, depending on the amount you're risking. Do you understand? Or you can also use this one too. I don't know, whichever one. But this is actually I just select some now. So let's select here. Let's select $300. Look at these two dots, we do it. So select just put on $300, which is $300. So right now you see I've come here, I've changed my time to 3 minutes. And I've changed my risk amount to $300. Now, remember, actually say something. If I'm clicking on for, let me see predicting the market going to go up above my peak price at the end of that 3 minutes. If I'm clicking on put, it's going to go below my price at the end of that 3 minutes. This green here you're seeing here means call, right? This is where you'll see the expense put. All right. Now, look at this. As I click on this area, you actually notice something. You notice there's actually percentage actually attached to those things. What is the percentage? Yeah, that is basically the percentage payout. Right? That is basically the percentage payout. So basically, if I am risking, if I'm risking what they call it, $10, and I select the pay that actually has an 80% payout, like this series actually has 80%, right? This way, I'm saying that I'm going to win $10, but 80% of my $10, yeah, well, 80% of my $10, 10 of time. I'm going to win a profit of 80% of my risk amount. Detail. So if I scroll down, you can actually see it's actually changing. You can actually see 69%. Yeah. So as I selected the coins that actually has 9%, if I want to, I'm going to win 69% plus 69. If you check here, you can actually see above this higher and lower. You can see 69%. So just here, constantly showing your percentage pairs. Not like you don't actually know what to select your day, but in case you didn't see it, just see it. It's not like master telling me nonsense or you master arguing with me because I've already shown you that's what you're going to get. And also the broker tool is still like so generous enough to show you under here the payout. Right, where you're going to be getting is within the trade. So understand. So now we know that let's select the trade that actually has a let's say 80%. But let's use UA. I really love UA. Let's talk money. Let me play this thing. All right. All right. All right. So we are going to be making a random guess here. So I'm not actually interested in making analysis questions. So let's just click on all here. Oh, I used 3 minutes. I would have used 1 minute to make it very fast. So can you see it now? It's going blue. That's can you see that red? That green line is my enterprise. All right, so can everyone hear me now? Yeah, can everyone hear me now? Right. Can just let everyone just go to the group and just post we are back. Like just post something so people can actually know I'm actually back. I had a little issue with network, and then I was trying to contact some princess to make me feel back. Right. The host of the meeting didn't want to share me the host permission with that. So I was trying to contact her and that was actually late. So let's just play on. So where do we start? Yes, I think we yeah, let's see. Do we really to the reverse the truth? Um we have basically taken everything. Oh, we lost the connection. What's happening? Yeah, yeah. So yeah. All right. So what's happening right now is that let's change this time to 1 minute. I've explained most of the things here. We are 21 minutes already. Now let's take a call at this point. Just a random guess. It's a random guess. So the moment you take a trade, what the broker fraud does that it fraud takes the money from you, right? Like for example, now if you check this account here, it was at 9,772, right? So the moment I took a trade with $300, the broker fraud take the 300 and take $300 from there. So if I win the trade, the board needs to return the $300 plus my profits, which is the percentage I won. And that is where you actually see this $540. You check this payout, you see it. So 80% of $300 is $240. So that's where you see this payout. So this payout now is my $240 profit, which is 80% of the $300 plus my $300. That's 240 plus $300. That's going to be 540. If I win this trade right now, I'm going to get 540. So can you see the entry price, this green line here? I'm so sorry about that. So can you see the entry price, this green line here, right? The entry price is this green line, and we just won this trade. So you can see it now. The total payout, which is total amount we got, was 540, right? The profit was $240. So here, so let's try to look at that guess, right? So now let's just take it. Remember, this is actually guess, right? So can you see it now? This red line is it puts this is actually our entry price. Can you see the market is currently below it? So we are currently in profit. It's a 1 minute trade. So this line you're seeing here, this vertical line is our expiration time. Now this is not going in the direction. Can you see it? This vertical line is our expiration time. Can you see it? So this thing keep going till it hits this vertical line. Right, we've won that first one, but see this other one right now. See, we said put, but that basically means it's going to come down, but it's currently going up. And when it hits here, yeah. So the moment you enter a trade, what the broker for the report is the money first. Let's say, for example, if you're risking $100, the moment I click call of it, the broker first all take is $100. Yeah. If I win the trade, the broker gives me back that is $100. Sorry, gives me back that my $100 plus my 80% profit, which is going to be $180. So now let's just change this amount to $100. Let me show you. We do it with this. Yeah. So you can see it now, payout here showing $180. Yeah, so that basically means my $100 is going to take first plus the $80 profit. Let's try to take the higher here, lower, click lower. Let's just look at lower. So can you see that the moment I click this, the broker took the $100 first. Let's look at yeah, let's just look at that. Right? So if I don't win this trade, this broker is not giving this $100 back because I lost the trade. But if I win this trade, I'm giving this $100 too, plus my 80% profit, which is $80 you see here. So this should keep running till this one that I selected expires. Now when this one that actually expires, if this is actually my direction, I'm going to get my money back plus my percentage payout. So we keep watching 31. If I select $1,000, the same thing too. So now if you click on this top right hand corner, this horizontal this thing here, right? Now you see this one here at the top right hand corner, you see three horizontal dashes, right? Three horizontal dashes. Click on it here. You see something like this. So if you look here, you can see I have 16 seconds on my trade. And when it's been average, let's just wait for this to clear. Now look at this amount so that's showing 9,612. Let's hope this at least stays below. But then I'm losing this trade. So you see, we just lost it and we didn't actually get any money back. So now let's try something here. So I'm just looking random guesses because I can't really start looking at cash out, start analyzing all these things. Because I don't understand that I'm guessing to teach. You understand? Yeah, but everyone's actually getting. Now let's select the 3 minutes time so we can actually explain very, very well. Right, we selected 3 minutes, right? So now if you click on, let's click on, let's see something. There's really nothing in this market. All right, so let's do this now together. Let's let it be. Percentage past 80%. All right. So let's see what to make a good guess from here. You see? It's going against us again. So you see, the moment I click the before actually happened, this account reduced from $9,600 to $9,300. They took their $300 first. Now, if I win this trade, how much am I going to make? I'm going to get my $300 back plus 80% of $300. And 80% of $300, how much? $240. You can actually see in this profit here. So you can see the total amount will be 300 plus $240, which will be $540. Once I'm making $540, yeah, which is my initial $300, which is broke out to was my profit. Now, this should keep running till it gets to this line here. When we pinch out, this is it gets to this line here, this vertical line here, like the end of this red line. See, that's my expression time, right? Now, if I click on this thing here, I can actually see open and close. If I click on close, I get my trade I've actually ended. But let's leave that person, check open, right? So now you can actually see open here, right? So you can see the price here is JPAD, right? The amount I reached is $300, right? You see a call of puts this red you're seeing here, I see a red arrow down, is showing the puts. Yes, it is the green arrow the showing trend is the call, red arrow and three puts. So the percentage price is what shift to the side, $80, 80%, right? How many minutes actually have left on this trade? 1 minute and 24 seconds. So this time I'll keep counting down till I actually have zero. So when this time I can actually know how much time I actually have. So now you see this amount that's changing from $540 to $00. It is actually the amount I'm going to win if trade actually ends at that point in time. So currently trade is currently not in my favor. So if this trade actually ends right now, I'm not going to make any money and see it already go back to my favor. To cancel this thing, click on this X here. Scroll down, see this X here. It has gone against me again. Right? It's going to come down and just watch. So you see it here. That's actually what this dollar is showing me. Yeah, then that's my percentage payout. And that's now I already have 39 seconds on this screen now. You understand? If I click on this X below here, it cancels. Click on it again, the one up it shows, right? So let's see 26 seconds. Let's see if I get this through. 24 seconds. 20, I think for like 15 seconds now. 14 seconds, 13, 12. Oops. I don't think we're doing it. 4, 3, 2, 1. I will just close the truth. You understand? You get so that is just basically how it is with pocket options. All right. That's just how it is. So let's just try to take one. Let's take it for now. Let's change it to 1 minute. So it's not very fast because we don't really have time. All right. So let's just click on 12 here. So this should be a good one. We got a nice price. fly, 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 fly. So whatever I actually want to win. So see our entry price was this green again. Can you see it? Can you see this green shot now? Can you see this green shot now? This is actually our entry price. This 300. It's showing we entered at this point. We'll see the market going up way above that point. You understand? You can see the expiration time is this green, this blue horizontal line. So you see it was at 93, but when I click the trade, they took the $300. So this 90. If I wish I was to make 5%, how many seconds actually on this trade? We have 3, 2, 1, and boom. This is 5 just added. That's just how it is. Make your predictions, and that is it. But right now, guess. Should we take more? Let's try to take. I'm just doing random guesses, right? Yeah, but that's just how it really works. You understand? So for us really making right predictions, if it comes down here, I'll take a call. If it comes down to this zone, come down to this zone, I'll take a call. So let's see. Let me take this into $1,000. Don't do this show. I'm just trying to just understand very well. Yeah, so let's just see. This thing comes down there. I'll take 1 minute score with $1,000. So that's actually how it is. But what we're actually looking for is to come down there. Let's be checking things like here. If you click on here, you can see the close. Click on close, right? And which is actually open. So actually showing 0. If I click on close, I can see I won this trade. That's why I actually got $540. But I lost this one. That's why I got $0. I lost this $0. I lost this. I lost this. Do you understand? Yeah. So now when you actually calculate, when you actually see things like 3-0, 3-0 basically means 3 wins, 0 losses. 5-1 basically means 5 wins, 1 loss. Do you understand? So your 3-0, your 4-0, your 7-1 is basically your win to loss ratio. Do you understand? So right now you can see I won 1 trade, 2 trade, 3 trades, and I lost 1 trade, 2 trade, 3 trades, 4 trades. So that is like 3, 4. 3 wins, 4 losses. All right? Look at this now. What is that? Okay. Right? So we are saying, it didn't come down there. It came down, it has been beautiful. We are still waiting on this share. But we're actually waiting on it. What else? We already know how to do this. We know how all these things work. Yeah, we know how to check open trades and close trades. We know how to change our live account and all of that. Right? This is a tool, right? Click here, you can just click those icons here. This one you use to actually get vertical horizontal lines. Fibonacci for those who are maybe using pocket office slate analysis. Yeah, if you click here above it, you can actually see this thing. Yeah, it's for the indicators that you have, the content channels and all of that. Do you understand? Then click here. The third one is I don't know exactly what but that's just it. Right, so let's go for let's see this actually comes down here. So pick call the proper call and just see. So now let's after that it's going to remain funding and withdrawal. Right. So for funding, I'm going to show you how to fund, I'm going to show you how to verify, and I'm also going to show you how to withdraw. So let's just pick the random guess because I'm tired of really waiting. You can't really wait for this. So random guess of puts in 3, 2, 1. Is that good? Let's see this actually line chart so we can actually see very well. It's good first. Come down. Would have taken the call actually. But hope everyone is just full. Everyone actually got this everything. You understand? So that is it. Let's try to. I didn't want to win one. Let's stop up. This account is closed, yeah. It's a demo account, so let's just you can stop up anytime. Okay, thank you. So now, so what was the winning thing for us? If this thing get up here, let's look at it, please. I want us to just see how this really works. Like let's see you're on the trade and see, hey, okay, now when you're actually on the session, they'll tell you the price you actually enter and all of that. They don't tell you to call up this, right? So let's click. Let's click it here. Yes, going on now. Oh, it's going over. He's actually messing with us, right? But I also just explain. So now I see as I think this 1K now, You see this account reduced from $10,000 to $9,000 because it took their first 1K. So if I win this trade, how much am I going to win? Check the payouts here. Payouts above higher, you're going to see payouts. You're seeing $1,800. If I win this trade, I'm going to win $1,000 back plus my 80% profits. So let's see if I win this one. Let's see how many seconds actually I on this trade. We have 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and look, 1. See the account just increased to $10,800. So that is basically $800 profit in just 1. So that's actually how it works. Let me see. I think everybody are really playing. The market was really playing with us, but that is just it. It was guessed because obviously it's OTC itself again. Do you understand? So that is it. So let's go to how to fund. So if you want to fund, click on finance. Yeah, let's start again from the beginning. Yeah. So to fund, click on this job down menu again. This one here at the top left hand corner. Click on it. You click on finance. This finance below here, right? Then you click on deposit. Do you understand? Yeah, you click on deposit like this. It's going to show you something like this. So my preferred funding method is with Bitcoin. All right. So what I do is I scroll down here and I select Bitcoin. But you can use Bitcoin, you can use Litecoin, you can use Stellar, you can use Ethereum and everything. Can only use Binance, so you can only use BSDT as 20. You understand? So it's one you want to use, right? So just select Bitcoin. Okay. So you see here, the amount you want to fund, you put it there. So let's say I want to fund $100, I'm going to select $100. You understand? Yeah. So I'll now scroll down here and I'll click continue. Do you understand? Continue. You see? It has taken me here. It has shown me the address. That is the Bitcoin wallet address I'm to send. And this is actually the amount of Bitcoin I'm to send. Send 0.002556 from Bitcoin to this address. So what I basically do that, I'll just copy this. I'll click on this copy address. All right. Then if I actually have Bitcoin, I'm going to send this amount of Bitcoin to this address. But if I don't actually have, I'll contact a plug. Right? If you want to fund your account and you don't actually have Bitcoin, contact your mentor. They'll send you the number of someone you can actually buy Bitcoin from. So you send the person the client in Naira, and when you send, the person will ask for a wallet. The one you actually ask for a wallet, just copy this address and send to the person. And the person will send the Bitcoins to this address, and boom, your $100 will be showing in your live account. All right, so let's go by it again. All right. So from here, click on the drop down menu. That's at the top left hand corner. This three orange dash. You click on it. Then click on finance, deposit. Right. Scroll down. If you want to use Bitcoin, click on Bitcoin. The amount you want to withdraw, you want to deposit, click withdraw. Then click continue. Then take it here. Right. So you see blah blah and everything, blah blah. Just read through. I think the minimum withdrawal with Bitcoin is $100. You just click on continue. So you see send this amount of Bitcoin to this wallet. So this amount of Bitcoin is actually the equivalent of $100 worth of Bitcoin. You understand? Yeah, that is good. So how do you withdraw? Same thing. Click here, drop down menu again. Right? Same finance. You scroll down and click withdraw. Do you understand? So it's not actually showing you. Okay, let me log into my one of my because I have an account with this broker. Right? But it's not my main account because I started using them. So I'm still practicing with trading without rollover. Do you understand? Yes, it's still on here. No, how to log out. Log out. I'm sorry. All right. Let's go. So here we actually have $62 here. This is a live account. Let's just live here. If I click on this, I can change the demo. This is an $18 demo. Now, if I click on it, change now. If I click on this top right hand corner here, you can see no open trade. If I click on close trade, you can see on my close trades, right? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of that. I click on more to show and all of that. Trading history, I see all my trades. You understand? Yeah. That is basically so. Now, if I want to see fund, if I want to see withdraw, I'll come here to withdraw, finance, withdrawal, right? And for you to actually withdraw, you need to actually verify. Do you understand? So let's go to this one and let's just go to the what they call it. I think is it ground? Okay, let us yeah. So if you want to actually withdraw, they will actually want to actually verify your account. Okay, so withdrawal is actually the same thing, right? So you copy the wallet address you want the money to click to. Okay, we're done with crypto. Select Bitcoin, just like how you actually work with funding. Paste the wallet address there, select the amount of you want to withdraw, and click continue. I think you put your PIN, and before like 20, 30 minutes, you're going to get the money to your wallet. And at first you go out, you take up 30 minutes. So you understand? Yes. So when you actually want to withdraw, you're going to verify. All right, the verification is not really that much. All right. To verify your ID with probably your NIN or international passport or your driver's license, whichever one. Then you also verify your what do you call it? Your what do you call it? Your address with your bank statement that actually has your address in it. Then after it, that's basically simply it. Yeah, they will accept the documents here. So if you come here, you can see here that I fill in my details first to verify. Fill in your details first, your name and everything, and your date of birth. I see my date of birth. All right. Then you come here. You see upload documents here. I use my international passport. So I uploaded it, verified. You understand? Then you're also gonna have a space too for your address. So you're going to upload the address and everything. You're going to verify. And when you actually verify, you go to the job. All right. So you come here. Click on the drop down menu here. Finance, withdrawal, and that is basically we're going to actually succeed withdraw. So that is basically every single thing here, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope everyone actually got impact on this. For this was really a very long thing, and I think everything. Wow, I'm talking for like 3 hours. Right, it's not. It's not like interesting to actually really do. And we're going to be having that call again tomorrow by 9 p.m., which is going to be fun. That and using that under 3 hours long. Right. So that is actually it, ladies and gentlemen. See you guys tomorrow by 9 a.m. Sorry, 9 p.m. by that. And don't forget, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, we are going to be having a 6 a.m. teacher session. Of course, I'm going to be on calling out trades with a couple of other very good team traders in the team. So do well to actually wake up and actually join the session and make money. All right. So you're very much welcome. You can just go and drop some fires in the group chats, drop some thank yous and all of that. And so those that actually no on the group chat, the beginners group chat or the trading group chat, just drop some stickers, some greens, some fires, some thank you. So those that actually missed out or those that actually left after 10 minutes, you can actually know that yeah, we really speed and we really got value to the end of the call. You're very much welcome. You're very much welcome. Yeah. Go and drop the thank you on the group chat. Yeah, you're very much welcome. All right. See everyone on this call tomorrow morning by 6 a.m. We're obviously going to go like 3 or 4 at least, making some nice 10% profit on our account. See everybody there, and I have a lovely night to everyone.